Welcome to IT Handy Guide tutorial. My name is Kevin. In this tutorial, I'm going to introduce the WordPress. Before I start, I need to tell you what to do. The 1.1 is of my reference. You can have a look at this reference and this reference especially. And now you can see the 1.2, what to do. Firstly, I will create a WordPress and create a WordPress into the Web Demo 01 folder. So install the latest version of WordPress to Web Demo 01. This is a folder. Then I'm going to install WordPress old version. This version is 5.9.4 into Web Demo 02 folder. And then I'm going to demonstrate how to backup the database, how to backup the WordPress file, and then I'm going to show you how to update automatically to WordPress version 6.0.2. This is the latest version for now. Okay, before you do anything with the WordPress, especially update, you must backup your database and WordPress file. If there's anything go wrong, you can still use the database and the WordPress file to recover everything back. Okay, and there are two types of update. Update automatically, that means there's a one little button that you can click on WordPress. When you click that button, the WordPress will automatically update your database and automatically update your WordPress file. In this case, we normally use update automatically. But sometimes if there is anything go wrong and you don't know how to fix it, there's other way you can do update manually. Okay, so we always do automatically for our top priority. Only if there is anything go wrong, you try to recover back the database and WordPress and you don't know how to do next. In this case, you can update manually. Okay, so this is really the method that you shouldn't do, but I still try to teach you how to update manually. Again, so I will install WordPress old version, that is version 5.9.4 into this folder, Web Demo 03. Then I will demonstrate how to backup database and WordPress file, and then update manually to WordPress version 6.0.2. This is the latest version for now. Okay. In summary, before you update WordPress version and update WordPress plugin version, plugin means the extension. It's like an extra function for WordPress. So before you update WordPress and the WordPress plugin, you should always backup your database and WordPress file. Okay, no matter what you do, you should always backup database and WordPress file before you do any kind of update. No matter that is update WordPress version or WordPress plugin version. Okay, just in case if there's anything go wrong, you can still recover everything back. Sometimes the website might be broken after update. In this case, you can recover back from your backup database and WordPress file. When you update WordPress plugin might trigger update WordPress version. Well, we really cannot control that because some of the WordPress plugin, they are really not really good. They are really not really good. The thing is, sometimes they just try to be like more automatically, but not really annoyed, because when you update the WordPress plugin, sometimes they automatically update WordPress version, and that actually make your website crashed. In this case, you always have to use the backup database and backup WordPress file to recover everything back to the previous version. So you should always deactivate all WordPress plugin, then update WordPress version. Let me say again, when you try to update WordPress, you must deactivate all WordPress plugin. Okay, you must deactivate all WordPress plugin and then update WordPress version. Afterwards, okay, after you update your WordPress version, then you can update all WordPress plugin. Let me say again, you always update your WordPress version first, and then you update your WordPress plugin. But before you do anything, you always have to backup your database and WordPress file. Okay? Not only that, actually every week you should also backup your database and the WordPress file regularly as well, because there are so many WordPress users in the world. Therefore, if I am a hacker, I probably will attack WordPress website in order to get more profit. Therefore, if there's any new version published, you should always update to the latest version just for security reason. Okay, so update WordPress is very, very important for you, and the backup database, backup WordPress file is also very, very important. You should do that like weekly, very regularly. Okay, so based on before you update WordPress version automatically, you need to open a PHP configuration file, which is PHP-ini, and there's a variable is called max execution time. That means the timeout duration. Okay, so by default, the max execution time is 30 seconds. That means timeout duration is only 30 seconds. So after 30 seconds, if the execution is more than 30 seconds, they will just stop this execution. And when you update WordPress automatically, that means you are going to click one little button behind the WordPress, and then when you click that button, that probably will take more than 30 seconds. So your execution will be failed. In this case, you have to go to PHP-ini and change the execution time to 600. This means 600 seconds. 600 seconds means 10 minutes. In this case, you will have efficient time. You will have enough time to update your WordPress automatically. And after you update your WordPress, then you have to change the max execution time to 30 seconds, because the 30 seconds is the default value. You should change back to the default value. If you update WordPress version automatically in local machine, and I really suggest you don't use FTP to sync all files into remote machine. What does that mean? Okay, here you are. We have a local machine. We have a WordPress in local machine in development environment. We also have WordPress in GoDaddy or AWS. It's just in a remote machine. So it's like WordPress locally, WordPress remotely. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to update. I should update the WordPress locally first to see if everything can go through. If I can update WordPress version automatically successfully in my local machine, then I can go to remote machine and execute update automatically as well. Okay, this is very, very important. You don't use FTP to copy and paste from your local to remote. Always try update first in your local machine. If you can success update in your local machine, then don't use FTP to copy and paste to remote. Just go to remote and update again. Okay, but before you update your remote machine, you should always backup your database and WordPress file. Okay, you should always backup your database and WordPress file into your local machine, because if there's anything go wrong, you can still use the backup database and WordPress file to recover everything back to the previous version. In this case, you just always backup your file. That's all. Okay, so that's pretty much all. Okay, I hope you enjoy my tutorial. Have a good day.